Hey, I'm Katy Miller, a course creation coach and social media strategist navigating business, motherhood, and life while calling BS along the way. If you are tired of the overwhelming amount of information we have access to these days and are confused about where to even begin, you're in the right place. Join me as I talk with small business owners to sort it all out and give some tips to move your business forward. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls BS. This summer, we've been diving into different episodes about digital products. If you are someone who changes your offers often, changes your prices every other week, or tries to adjust based on sales, but not in the way that's productive, you know the difference. Or you just keep waiting until it's the right time to sell, this episode is going to be for you, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to use a little bit of the psychology background that I have. My undergrad is in psychology, if you didn't know that. I love to bring it in because it's fascinating to me to dive into this world, into the instructional design part of things, and bring it all together for you to talk about overthinking your offers. Because we all do it. We've all done it. You've been there. And we're going to talk about it in the world of digital products, because I know that I've had this experience and I see it happen with my clients all the time. And I see it happen with potential clients all the time. And I've had it with questions all the time. So we're going to dive into it a little bit today. You don't need more tweaking or time to make sure your audience needs your offer. You need clarity and a way to move forward. So what are the next steps here? What do we do? Because you know that on this show, we call out the BS, we talk about it, we talk about what's hard, and then we are going to give the next steps. Because I'm not going to throw out all the things at you and be like, good luck to you. Go figure it out. I'm going to give you the next steps. So towards the end of the episode, you always get the next steps of what to do. So let's dive into it. Let's first start with this idea that you need more time to get your digital product perfect. You need to know what your offer is going to look like before you hire someone, or maybe you need to get the ideas organized in your head. I hear it so many times. People are like, you know what, I love this. I want to work with you. I just have to get the ideas organized first. I need to know what it's going to look like. And I'm like, you realize that that's what we do together. That's what I do for you. I am going to help you with what your offer is going to look like. I am going to help you get the ideas organized in your head. You could come to me with a whole jumbled hot mess in your head, and I will pull all those ideas out of your head and get them so organized. You're going to be like, what? I didn't even know that was there. It was my favorite thing to do as a social media manager. It's my favorite thing to do now, working more in the instructional design and launch space, because all those ideas that you have floating in your head, you're not supposed to know how to organize it into a digital product. That's my job. It's like when I go and work with a brand and website designer. That's not my world of genius. That's not where I live. Okay. Could I figure it out? Maybe. But my job is to spit out all the ideas that I have towards that expert and say, okay, go build that thing for me, right? So now what I need you to do is think about that in terms of your digital product and say, spit out all your ideas that you have at me, and I can help you organize it. So you don't have to have any of that stuff, because none of it matters. The more time that you have doesn't necessarily give you more clarity. It might actually make it worse, because now you're going to end up more confused, or you're going to get more ideas, or you're going to know for sure, yes, that is really something that I need to do. I really do need to create a digital product. So you end up overthinking even more. You stay stuck, and ultimately, you still don't have sales from this potential product. And I don't say that lightly, because I don't generally put that out there as, you're losing sales because you haven't created your digital product yet. I don't tend to say that, because we are not about just creating something to create something for the purpose of making sales. We're here to build aligned, value-packed digital products. That's what we're all about around here. But if digital products are something that you want to create in your business, you know that that's a goal that you have in your business, then you are losing potential sales. The more you delay it, the more potential sales you're losing, right? Because let's say it's something you want to do, right? This happens with my clients a lot. I know I've dealt with it. You have had an idea for a while, right? It's been floating around in your head for a while, but time is the issue, as it is with so many of us. And if you had the time, then you would have to figure out how to create the thing, right? And in the time we worry about when we are going to do all these things, we haven't actually started building anything or getting feedback from our audience, which is so valuable. And that all results in not getting the sales. So you see that if you thought about it a year ago and you knew that you had this idea for how to use something in your business that you already had and you already had created, and it's been sitting in your Canva, and you know exactly what you want to build, you just haven't had the time. And so you keep delaying, or you keep overthinking, or you keep thinking of ways you could make it easier or different or better, or maybe I should do this and not that. And you keep doing that to yourself. You still haven't created the thing. And so we lose out on like that whole year of potential sales because you didn't put anything out there. And that's not a bad thing. It's something that people do all the time. So why do we do it? Why do we overthink in the first place? I mean, we all do it. We all overthink at some point, especially in our businesses, especially as entrepreneurs, because it's such a personal thing and we're so invested in our baby businesses. It's like our little precious gems that we're putting out into the world, and it's so personal to us. So why are we overthinking these things, especially when we're pouring in our own expertise and experience and we're like putting something out into the world that's so us? That's hard to do. So when we're overthinking, it mostly comes from this fear of judgment, and it comes from a lack of feedback, and it comes from thinking more is better, which is when people tend to add more to their courses or more to their digital products. So they just like keep throwing in more things thinking it's going to make it better. Or you've done really well building offers that worked, but no one ever really showed you how to create the offers that sell. I mean, that's pretty common, right? Because people tend to figure it out, especially when we start a business. We learned how to build the offers. We learned how to do the things, but no one actually taught us how to do that because we figured it out. We tend to do that as entrepreneurs, don't we? I had to figure it out. I had to figure out how to build those offers. I had to figure out how to start the business. I had to figure out how to build the thing. I had to figure out what offers worked. I had to figure out what didn't work. I had to figure that out based on my audience, just like you did, right? So all of those things are what lead us to overthink. And it doesn't mean you're bad at this. You're just trying to do it alone, which is what so many of us do. We Google it. We use our AI tools now. We use our AI tools and we hope for the best. We're like, I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to like hope and pray. Let me figure out this next thing and I'm going to hope for that. And like, okay, I'm really busy right now and that's really great. And maybe one day I'll have time to do that. Or maybe I'm going to hold on to all my money and I'm not going to invest in anyone right now because I don't want to, or I'm scared to do that for whatever reason. And I tell people all the time that being an entrepreneur is such a personal development side of things too, that we never signed up for, we never expected. And I'm sure we can all agree on that one, that we were like, when you started a business, you started the idea part of it, that excitement of the idea part of it. And then there were all these other things that came along with it that you never expected. So that's where a lot of this overthinking and the waiting to do things comes from. The I'm going to do that someday comes from. The part that's missing from all of this, though, is the person that can walk you through the process. So we can look online all the time because as entrepreneurs, we tend to do things independently. We tend to go figure it out, because that's who we are as people. We have the guts to start a business. We have the wherewithal to figure it out along the way and to do our thing along the way and use our expertise in this way, usually a little bit differently than the mainstream world. So we have enough guts to do that, but the part that is missing is finding the right person to walk us through the process of this new thing. And in this case, what we're talking about today, digital products. And sometimes we don't even know that this overthinking happens. And it can look like changing the name of the offer, or we can't even think of a name. Or have you ever like constantly played with ideas, or you've refreshed a name generator 50 times trying to come up with like the perfect idea for the offer? I know I've done that. Like, then you go to Google and see if somebody's used it yet, because you can't do that. You can't copy someone's idea. Or you change the price a million times. You start really low the first time you offer it, then you go lower if you don't get sales, and then you have a good first round at that really low price, and then you try higher pricing the next round only for it to flop, and then you go lower again, and then you could add bonuses. We all try like a million different things. And that's all overthinking. That's all, instead of that consistency of like, this is what it is, because we're trying to figure it out. Sometimes we spend way too long going over the structure and organization of a digital product instead of focusing on the outcome. So we want it to look that perfect way. We want it to be organized a certain way, or we have this idea of what it should look like in our head, and we're not focused on what the actual end goal is. What coming out of it? What's the transformation? Or we get excited about 3 or 4 different ideas, and we have this idea of like, I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I have this, and I have that I want to do. And we start drafting like all 3 or 4 of them. And we have the start of 3 or 4 different ideas, but we lose excitement about all of them and end up launching none of them. And maybe you even invest in a program thinking you're ready to go, but you don't get a lot of traction or you never finish the program. And you lose your steam. Something happens along the way, or you start the program and you start getting this imposter syndrome and you're like, well, who am I to do this? This program is for serious, and I don't know if I'm that serious right now. So you give up on the idea. I'm sure if you are listening to this, I'm sure like one of these things has to resonate with you. And if they don't, I'm impressed that you have not overthought something. The most common one, though, is waiting for followers, or trying to build your bigger email list, or maybe you're waiting for better timing. We've heard from creators before that you need a big email list. That was a thing for a while. You need to build your email list. You need to build your email list. Your email list needs to be bigger. Or early social media marketing days when follower count was the thing, which drove me absolutely bananas. Early Katy Calls BS episodes talked a lot about follower count and vanity metrics. Follower count is a vanity metric. Nobody cares. You could have the smallest account and have the most successful business. Your follower count means nothing if they are not engaged followers. An engaged audience is better than anything. When you are waiting for those things, waiting for more followers, or waiting for a bigger email list, or you're waiting to, when my email list is bigger, then I'll do it. Or when I have more followers, then I'll do it. Maybe like the timing's not right now, but like I'm so busy right now and things are so crazy right now, but I'll do it in like 6 months. Maybe that'll be better. You don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. 6 months could be crazier. Okay? Your email list could get wiped out. Your social media could get deleted. We've been through that already. We don't know. There is not going to be a perfect time. You could think that summer was not the time to launch, but then you wait for fall because you're like, the kids will be back in school in fall and then I'll have more time. But then it's busy because it's back to school time and then there's like fall sports and all that stuff, at least in my house. Then you forget and then the holidays happen and here we are in the cycle of life, never launching the product, and we're back to summer again when you think about it. And you're like, here we are again a year later. If any of this is sounding familiar, you're not alone. I've dealt with all of this. My clients deal with all of these things. And here's what we can do about it. You can get feedback from someone who's launched and built similar products. And by the way, hey, that's me. I've done it. I've done it multiple times for myself and for my clients. There's a process to this. Find people who are further along than you are. Take a look at your offer and get really clear on these 3 questions. These are the questions that are going to guide you. And if you can't answer them, then we'll talk about what you can do about it. The first question is, what is your offer? What is it? The second question is, who is it for? And I don't mean like broad, who is it for? Oh, it's for business owners. That's a big group. That is a very large group of people. I need you to narrow that down. It's like who your audience is for. Your offer doesn't need to be for your entire audience. It can be for a piece of your audience. You can have it be for just like one little subsection. You don't need to have it be for everybody, but who is this offer for? And why is it going to sell? Or why does it sell if it's sold in the past? Focus on the outcome and the transformation and less on what you're going to say about it. Don't focus on just the like, I don't know how I'm going to talk about this. I don't know how I'm going to market it. What does it do for people? Think about the emotion. What is it going to do for your audience? Will it make their lives easier? Is it going to take the guesswork out of something? Is it going to ease the frustration with a common issue you see? Is it going to like something take less time? Are they going to be able to know how to do something that they ask you about all the time? Are they going to be making sure that it is going to eliminate a frustration? Is it going to ease a pain? What is it? What's the pain point? What is it doing? What's the point of it? The last thing that I will tell you is stop trying to feel ready. Please stop trying to feel ready because you're never going to feel ready. Were you ready to start your business? Because I can guarantee you probably weren't. You're never going to feel ready. Last week we talked about launching messy but with a plan, and it's kind of an organized chaos. Like most things, we can try and be as planned and as organized as we want to be, but as long as we're taking steps, like I know that people don't love to take messy action, but if you can be messy with a plan and have it be a little bit more organized and start taking steps towards your goal, they don't have to be big ones. They can be baby steps. Just start taking those steps. And a good sign that you're ready is to answer those 3 questions. And if you can answer those 3 questions about your digital product, say what your offer does, who it's for, and why it matters, then you're ready to move forward. It doesn't mean that you should wait longer if you don't know the answers. If you can't answer those questions, don't be like, I give up, I'm out. I'm going to wait longer. That means I don't have a good idea. That is not what it means. It just means you need support. And that's what I offer. I offer that support with my Power 90 sessions. These are 90-minute sessions. We get right to the core of your idea, turn it into a sellable product, fits into your business. So if you've been stuck, you have ideas, the whole jumbled mess in your head, you're not ready, you're not sure of next steps. You might be ready, you're not sure. This might be it. And I'll put the info in the show notes so that you have that if you need it. Those are the steps that you can take. But I promise you're not alone if you are overthinking. We all overthink, especially when it comes to our businesses. But I just want you to take a second to kind of absorb the information in this episode and know that you are not alone. And maybe come back to listen to this if you feel like you were in the overthinking stage, because I've heard this a lot lately. That people say they think about the time or the someday or it's on my list. So if you are one of those people, save this episode, come back to it, and know that you're not alone, and I'm here when you're ready. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Katy Calls BS. You can find more information about our guest and Katy in the show notes below. Be sure to subscribe, share, and review, and don't forget to tag us.